Today I am not outside, not in the kitchen, not doing anything else, but I'm in my office. And I wanted to sit down with you and talk to you about the farmer's market. Yesterday we had a wonderful day at the farmer's market. And I will tell you, every weekend I am blown away by the support of people who come out and visit with us. I am blown away with people who come and make purchases from us. I wanted to share some things with you about the farmer's market if you are thinking about getting into the farmer's market, or if maybe you already are a farmer's market vendor, how you can improve your own booth, your own business, and make it everything that you want it to be. A little bit of information about our time as farmer's market vendors, and we have been vendor at the farmer's market for going on 3 years now, which is so surprising to me. When I look back, I think, how did that even happen? Let me tell you exactly how that happened. We have chickens. We needed to sell those chicken eggs. We were selling them from the house when we first began. Finally, it got to the point where I said, okay, we're gonna have to get out there and sell these at a market or something. So we did. We decided we would try to sell eggs at the farmer's market. Not only did I take eggs that first day, but since I was going to be at the farmer's market that day, I decided, okay, I've got this sourdough starter. Maybe I'll take some of it and try to sell it. I've got these water kefir grains. Took those with me along with my eggs. Honestly, I think that was all that I had on my table that first time out. I got so much great feedback from people at that very first market that I thought, I could do this. You know, I really enjoyed talking to the customer, sharing about what I was doing, and bonus, selling the eggs that I had such an overabundance of. So that's where we began. So that's how we began in the farmer's market scene around here, and really, that has been the base of my business. We started as farmers market vendors, and then I added from there. So then I created a website where you could order things. And then I started weekly delivery where you could order things. And I have compiled market items at this point that I take every single week. You can be successful in a farmer's market setting if you follow some of these best practices. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is some farmer's market best practices. All right, so let's talk about some farmer's market best practices. The first best practice is look professional. That doesn't mean your clothing, that doesn't mean your personal style or anything. Your setup should look professional. Now, how do you look professional? What you want is things that are labeled, clearly marked, clear signage, these types of things. The way that my booth looks professional is that I label everything. Now, I have a consistent style of labeling. Every single label is not the same, but I have created a consistent style of labeling. I use Avery printable labels. I have never had labels printed for me. I just use and create my own labels on Avery.com using their either square or round labels, sticker labels. And then whatever I make, I customize an individual label for that in the same style. It's sort of a pattern that you use. Use the same font. Always have your logo on there at some point. Like for me, I have mine, and that lends to a really professional appearance. So no matter what look you're going for, customize and tailor your style of labeling to that. You can do whatever it is your style, but just make sure that you sort of follow and carry that throughout all of your line of products, whatever your products are. Do things in a consistent way, it looks cohesive and professional throughout your entire booth or stall. Following up on that with the professional look, I would say avoid handwritten signs if you can. Some things do not lend themselves very well to this. Now, also, if you're one of those people who has beautiful handwriting and can do the, great looking lettering, then you can handwrite signs. But for most of us, we don't have the best handwriting. If something is printed, it's certainly going to be easier to read across the board for all types of people. So for my clip labels and things like that, things that I offer every single week, I have printed and laminated little cards or little pieces of paper or whatever it is, again, using the same font, carry it throughout, same style of label. Use printed things when you can. So every single week also, my menu for the week, the things that I'm offering that week, I sort of tailor it just a little bit, because sometimes I might have this type of bread or that. Sometimes I might have a dessert item or a different type of fresh item. So I'll add it or subtract things from the menu and price sheet for that week. But I do print it every single week, and I just use my at-home printer. This is not expensive. It doesn't have to be a hassle. I use pickmonkey.com to create and customize it's basically a PDF that I have created and customized. And every single week I go through on Friday morning or afternoon, and I adjust those things as needed. So I'll add or subtract items from there. But I do print an individual sheet every single week. I don't handwrite it. The next best practice is more about your behavior at the market, and that is stand, don't sit. So, of course, there will be times when you sit down for a few minutes here or there at the market, but don't sit behind your booth all day long and expect that people are gonna come up and just knock, 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 hey, you know, that type of thing. People wanna see you. They wanna chat with you. They come out because they want interaction for the most part. Some people will be more short with you than others, but some people really want to chat with you about what you have, what you did, what you made, how you made it, all of these things. So if you're available, you really have to be on the whole time that you're at the market, and that can be difficult, of course. But you're there for a short period of time. This is your business, this is your work day, and you really want to be open and available to them while you're there. So stand up, greet your customers, chat with them about what you have, and I think you will see a noticeable improvement in your sales. Another best practice along the lines of being friendly and greeting your customers is to never hawk customers at the farmer's market. This is not a flea market. This is a farmer's market where people are coming to enjoy the atmosphere. They're coming to grocery shop. So you never want to hawk them. You never want to yell from across the booth. You know, you want this to be a subdued atmosphere. I think you'll see that in most farmers market settings, whether big or small, that it's sort of a subdued atmosphere. It's sort of a, you know, chatting amongst people in groups type of atmosphere, not a loud and over the top boisterous atmosphere. So you never want to come over and see what I have. You never want to try to be calling people over. Now that said, I do think it's okay when someone passes you by, say good morning, hi, how are you? You can certainly talk to people without trying to pull them into your booth all of the time. You know, I don't think that makes people feel very comfortable. So I would just be very careful about, you know, calling out to people and things of that nature. Be friendly to them, but don't hawk them across the market. Okay, let's talk about some best practices for your actual booth and display. Let's begin with clear and concise rules. I think that you will always find that a booth that has very clear and concise displays will do better. Somebody doesn't want to look through 40 or 50 cups that are just sitting out. So I say cups like tumblers. You know, people are personalizing a lot of tumblers at this point. Even if you can break those tumblers down into risers or areas, you know, these are all the pink ones over here. These are all the sports team color tumblers down here. You know, break those things up into some clear groupings. These will do better than just everything's out on the table and come and get it if you like it. You know, somebody has to do a lot more work to get through all of that visually. And most people will not. Their eye will just continue to go on and they'll say, I don't really know what they have. So for me, in my booth, I display breads really clearly up front. And I also display a cooler with my fresh items. And then I display my eggs and I set those out. So I'll show you some pictures of those too. And then I have sort of a side shelf that I display shelf stable items, honey and jars and other items, sourdough starter kits, things like that. But everything is sort of broken up into those groupings where it's really easy visually for people to see exactly whatever your display options are. Take full advantage of them, of course, but keep it clear and concise. The next thing in regards to your booth and the best practices is keep a tidy booth. So it takes a lot of boxes and bins and things like that to get all of your stuff to the farmer's market, right? So whatever you can do, hide that stuff. Maybe you need to put it back into your vehicle, those empty bins and boxes and things, until the end of the market, and then you can bring them back out. Maybe you have plenty of room under your tables where you can hide those boxes and bins away there. But whatever you can do to keep that area nice and clutter-free, that way, again, people's eye does not go to, what do they have stacked up all that stuff back there? All right, and here's a best practice on your actual display of items. Full displays always sell better. So a couple of key points there. You've got to restock throughout the day. Make sure you have a lot of product on hand whenever you go to the market. And then for the most part, until you end up eventually selling out of those things, you can continue to restock and restock. Don't sell yourself short. People want to see a full rack of things, a full display of things. If you have 20 bottles of honey to put out 20 bottles of honey. Abundance is enticing too. I take loaves of bread every single week. I almost never sell the last loaf of bread. There will be maybe one person who has bought from me before occasionally is like, oh, thank goodness I'm here to get the last loaf of bread. But as it goes in general, people are much more likely to buy from full displays than they are to buy from when there's just one or two of something left. So whether you're selling food items or earrings or handmade items, bring as much as possible. That way you can continually restock and have nice, full, abundant displays. I have one last best practice for you today, and that is have payment options for your customers. So I would love to only take cash, but I know that I would be selling my business short by only taking cash. So for me personally, I take credit cards, I take cash, and I take Venmo. These are the three that I've kind of whittled down as the easiest and most acceptable to people. So that means I need a credit card provider, and that means I need a Venmo account. Other than that, cash is king. Of course, we love to get cash rather than anything else. That's wonderful. But I think that you will lose a lot of sales if you do not take some other forms of payment. You will know best what works in your market. Sometimes it's Cash App, sometimes it is Venmo or Zelle or whatever, or Apple Pay. There's hundreds of options at this point, it feels like. So take what works for you, but take multiple options. I think you're going to find more success if you're able to accept different types of payment from your customer, and you will have to turn away far less people than if you didn't and you took only cash. So whether you are a farmer's market vendor already, or maybe you're thinking about doing a farmer's market with whatever it is that you're selling, I hope that these best practices will give you a little bit of guidance into making the most out of your farmer's market vendor business. And I wish you the best of luck. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope that you've liked hearing all of these best practices for the farmer's market. I appreciate you watching the video till the end, and I hope that you'll leave me a comment or let me know if you're already a farmer's market vendor. What do you sell? What do you have to offer? And what farmer's market are you at? So we can find you out there one of these days. All right, so I will see you next time. I hope to see you again. Next time I'm going to share more about exactly what you need to take with you at the farmer's market to have a successful day. All the essential gear, all the essential items that you need to get out there and go to the farmer's market. So I'll see you then.